Hi and welcome to Skein Studio. My name is Kristen. You can find me on Ravelry as K10, that's K10, and on Instagram as Skein Yarn. Hope you're all doing really well. Today is Tuesday. It's our last week here in the studio before we break off for Christmas and New Year. So we're busy tying up all the loose ends and trying to get all the packing done, and yeah, it's always, this time of year is always interesting because I always think, oh, well, you know, there's not a lot to do in the studio and we can just shut the door and walk away. But then as I go, there's always a million and one things that crop up, and yeah, it's always busy. So I hope you're all doing really well. I guess I've been thinking about this year, 2019, and I was looking back on Ravelry to see how many projects I had done, because it felt like this year I had accomplished quite a lot and I was quite amazed. So this year I have knit 8 shawls, 2 cowls, 12 sweaters, which is crazy, and 2 pairs of socks. So yeah, it's been a huge year for me in knitting. I don't know why, it's just this year I have felt really inspired, and there's been a lot going on in the knitting world, but there's been, yeah, lots of really interesting new designers that have been cropping up, and I don't know, it's just been a good year. I don't think I've ever knit so much than I have this year. It's just been crazy, which is a good thing. I will say I'm really sorry, there's a high-pitched kind of squeaking noise and it's coming from out the back where the dye studio is. It's like this big kind of, I don't know, tin area space, and then on the top there's wheelie birds for the circulation, and one of them is squeaking, and it's really annoying, and I've shut all the doors, but it's just so high-pitched it might come through on the camera. So yes, I'll just mention again our knit along that we're doing next year, 2020. It starts in in January. It's the Knit All the Colours knit along. So every month we've assigned a colour. So January will be yellow. And all you need to do is knit a project with yellow, either a whole project or just incorporate a little bit of yellow in some colour work or in a shawl. And then, yeah, post it on Instagram with the hashtag, I think it's Knit All the Colours, 2020 Knit All the Colours. And yeah, it doesn't have to be skein yarn, it can be any yarn you want. If you do use skein yarn, we will be looking at the projects that have been posted on Instagram, and we'll be giving away some prizes throughout the year. So yeah, I've got my project all sorted. It's the Caitlin Hunter sweater that I showed last week, which I'm pretty sure is called Ingalls. I'm using a little bit of yellow in the colourwork section on the yoke. So yeah, hopefully you can join in. So I have finished something this week. This is the Red Cliff sweater by AbbyeKnits. I showed you last week, it was on my needles. It's been a really quick knit. I'm test knitting this for Abby, so it will be coming out, I think she said January, maybe mid to late January. She used our Bliss DK for the design, but I decided to use our Voyage DK, mainly because I didn't have any Bliss and it's nice to give another option. So this is it here. It's a little crop top, and it's a bottom up, so you start with these colours down below. You can do 3 colours, you can do how many colours you want, but the main design is 3 colours. So it's Gothic Rose is what I did, Modern Love, and then this one is Polar Bear. And I'll turn around, it sits really nicely. It's very oversized, which is great. It's basically knit in 2 pieces, front and back, and then you seam up the sides. The top section is Kitchener stitched at the shoulders, so that's easy, and you can leave the sleeves as wide or as short as, or as wide or as less wide, words today, as you like. I did what she suggested, which was having a side seam of 12 inches, and yeah, it's really nice. It's actually quite hot today, and even though this is a DK sweater, it's quite nice. And I have a little singlet top underneath, but yeah, I don't really know what to say except that I really enjoyed the project. It was, like I said, really quick. I really like the very low V-neck. It's really nice how the decreases look on the side, and it's a little kind of I-cord edge. Yeah, it's nice. And I find tops like this really nice, and when I was sewing I like them too. I think they call them kimono sleeves. It's where it's all in one. There's no separate sleeve section. I kind of like how it falls. So yeah, that was really cool. I really enjoyed knitting that. I have a couple of whips as well. The first one is the Ember sweater by Yuko Shimizu, and this is one that I started a while ago, but I have been finishing the test knit for Abby, and then I was knitting a new design which is socks for the sock club that we have. That will be coming out this week. The sock club members will get it for free, but everyone else it'll be a paid pattern. But I can't show you that yet because I haven't released it for the sock club people. But yes, I finally finished all of my knitting that was kind of urgent, and now I'm getting back to my older projects. So the Ember sweater is this gorgeous colour work. Sorry, my chair's squeaky. It's stunning. It's such an interesting design. It reminds me of Japanese stitch dictionaries where they use a lot of techniques to knit up samples. So this has got colour work, there's twisted stitches, there's lace. Down the bottom here there's a little bit of cabling, which you can't see because it's quite dark, the yarn, but the texture's still there. And yeah, it's just stunning. I am so enjoying it. So this will be the yoke. I have one repeat of this colour work section to go here, and then I start dividing for the sleeves and the body. And I'm going to be doing the short sleeve version because I live in a climate where I get more use out of a short sleeve version than a long sleeve. I'm also using our it's not so much a budget base, but it's a yarn base that we decided to make more affordable. It is our everyday sock. This is it's got 20% nylon and 80% merino. It's very soft. I'm pretty sure it's a 2-ply. It is 2-ply yarn. And I was wondering how it would go with colourwork, because it is the type of yarn to bloom when you wash it. And because it's 2-ply and it's quite airy, I thought it would be really nice for colourwork. And so far I'm really enjoying how it's knitting up. It is superwash, so it's not sticky like you would find with the non-superwash yarns. And they're great for colourwork because they really do stick together the stitches and it fills all the spaces in. But still, because it's quite a nice little plump 2-ply, it is actually knitting up quite nicely with the colour work. So I'm using, in total this is only going to take 4 skeins of yarn. So I've got 2 of the main colour, which is, this one's called Cocoa, and it's a brown with hints of kind of eggplant purple. So yeah, 2 of those, and then 1 each of the main colour. I think if I was to do the long sleeve version I would need another skein of this colour. This one is Polar Bear, which is the same as what I'm wearing. I really like this neutral. It's sort of a warm grey. It's hints of grey and a tiny little hint of very pale brown. And then this colour, which is Atomic, and it's really nice, bright pink with a peach running through it as well. So yeah, I really enjoying this. I've not ever knit colour work with 3 colours going all at once. God, it's terrible. I hope you can't hear that squeaking. You probably can. But yeah, it's been quite challenging trying to hold 3 colours all at once. I can see why people wear those rings, and that would be really handy if I had one of those where I could slip the stitches, the yarn in, because I find it very tricky picking, because I knit colour work with 2 hands, so I use my main colour with my right hand and then the other 2 colours in my left, and I find trying to pick the yarn off the left hand and alternate between the 2 colours, it's quite tricky. But I haven't done it before, so I'm still trying to get that kind of motor skill. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So that is the Ember sweater, and that will be fun to knit over Christmas, although it's certainly not a project I can knit talking, or really, I can only kind of knit that if I'm listening to an audio book or a podcast. I really kind of need to concentrate at the moment anyway. The next project I've cast on is the Pixie Dust shawl by Tamy Gore. Oh, I hate it when I'm trying to get into my phone and it won't let me put in the password. Okay, there we go. This is a holiday cast on, so this is one that I'm going to take. I'm actually heading, this year we're going to my parents' place for Christmas. My brother and his partner will be there, and yeah, it's just going to be a very basic, chilled out Christmas. They live in Foster, my parents, so pretty much get up, have a swim, open presents, have just a relaxing day. So this is going to be really handy to be knitting on during that time. So I'm using 3 colours, and I'm using our El Merino yarn. It's the same yarn that I knit the Gatsby shawl by Dawn Landix. It's a very nice, it's got like a nice weight to it, this yarn. I think this one is a 4-ply. So I am starting off with the colourway, what's it called again? Air. I was thinking Hint, but that was the old light blue. So this is Air, so it's sort of a icy light blue. And then I came up with a new colourway last week, which I absolutely love. This is called Cool Mint. Jeez, my brain. I can hear the squeaking and it keeps putting me off. This is Cool Mint, which is a nice sort of icy green. This is very popular actually in the last update. And then this colour, which I absolutely love, this is Olive. A very saturated olive green. It's beautiful. I actually have a sweater lined up that I'm going to knit with this yarn. I'm pretty sure you pronounce it Ruke, R-U-K-E. She's on Instagram. She's amazing, the sweaters that she has. And one of them is a very boxy lace v-neck, and I have the pattern, but I need to cast on. So once I finish some of these, that's the next one I'm going to be casting on. But yeah, and I'm going to be using this colour because it's stunning. So the Pixie Dust shawl has some colour work in it, stripes mainly, and also brioche. And the brioche sections will be these 2 colours, which is going to look really nice. And that starts soon, because I think after you knit this first colour, you knit until you have 120 stitches, and then you start incorporating the other colours. And I'm pretty sure this is the only time you'll see this first colour. It's just on the end of the shawl. But yeah, I've been really wanting to knit a Tamy Gore pattern for a while. I've seen quite a few of her shawls on Instagram and they're just stunning, so I was very, very keen to cast this on. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have. So I just wanted to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I look forward to catching up with you guys in 2020, which is just crazy. I can't believe it's 2020 already. Yeah, and I just want to say thank you so much for supporting the podcast. I know it's kind of been on and off this year, but next year I plan to do this every week. I really enjoy doing it. It's just kind of trying to carve out a bit of time, and now I have this area set up, I can easily sit down and podcast, so it makes it a lot easier. I also wanted to say thank you if you've been supporting us and our business. It means a lot. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, so thank you so much. I love doing this. It's my passion, so yeah, it's just so lucky that I can do it. So yes, have a lovely, lovely Christmas and New Year, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. So lots of love, and speak to you then. Bye.